What's the end game of #MeToo? And will it be the end of game? When any male romantic initiative is outlawed, and the social consequences for flirting to gauge female interest are severe enough to cost men their livelihoods, feminists think we'll have a shrewtopia where only women solicit men for dates or casual sex. But that's never going to happen because women are constitutionally adverse to making the first move. They don't fall hard for passive men. One can see a sexual market dystopia develop in which real true passion escapes to an underground romance bazaar, where women can feel again what it's like to be desired, to be hotly, remorselessly pursued by assertive men. They'll miss it when it's gone. Frankly, this may have been the original plotline to 1984. In the meantime, the fantasy of women hitting on men that they want, while loser boys are straitjacketed by the state to observe the mating market from a position of forlorn impotency, is just that. A girl power projection of wishful thinking that denies the reality of female vulnerability and the need to feel pursued by men. Women who make the first move never feel right about it afterwards, because they know deep inside that men will agree to easy, no-muss, no-fuss sex with women they wouldn't normally hit on if the man had to initiate. So the pursuer woman always feels like her conquest settled for her. This is a rickety, poisoned foundation for the development of a committed relationship. We have to draw a distinction between a man presenting himself as a challenge to women and a man passively accepting a woman's forthright solicitation for a date. A woman who unambiguously approaches a man to get his attention and to start a convo with him knows she's making it easy for him. She has reversed the sexual polarity with extreme prejudice, and no worthy romance will ever come from it. Since unwanted groping has been in the news lately, it's a good time to visit the game concept of kino-escalation, i.e. getting increasingly physical with a girl to acclimate her to your touch. The big distinction between Frankengropers and PUA probers is this. The latter operates within the context of receptivity cues from women. Gropers, like Al Coldcock Franken, presumably chase unreceptive women who had no inkling they were the subject of flirtatious intent until tongues were mashed deep down throats and tushes grabbed without forewarning. That's not game. That is simply sloppiness. Touching a woman during a courtship sooner rather than later, and more frequently rather than sparingly, is an effective means of building a comfortable physical rapport with her. Women aren't cognizant of their own arousal mechanisms, so when a man refuses to touch her, these mechanisms will simply not operate of their own accord. So, incrementally frequent and intensifying touching is a critical part of seduction, and this is what the social engineers want to do away with altogether. It is also not surprising that the extensive lineup of men that have been publicly tattooed with sexual misconduct recently are almost exclusively white, with a few Jewish executives sprinkled in who have paraded themselves as white. The endgame of this artificial public witch hunt is twofold. Firstly, to send a message to Western men that they no longer will be allowed any exercise of sexual behavior. And finally, to create a moral panic, whereby women now have executive control over the policing of all sexual behavior, just in time for the wave of 100 million non-white males that are being released into Europe and America. And you don't need a PhD to know where this is all heading.